Formula 1 returns to the Marina Bay Street Circuit for round 14 of the 2018 season, the Singapore Grand Prix, and the track that often throws up a chaotic result come race day on Sunday. What does 2018 have in store for us? Williams were out early once again in practice 1 to see if their cars would work on this kind of track, see if they fixed the issues they had back at Hungary, and although the cars did seem to be struggling a little bit, it's still not anything as major as what they suffered back at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Much like Williams, Sauber are also expecting a difficult weekend here, as this is one of the few remaining tracks on the calendar which shouldn't suit their car design. However, Giovinazzi and Leclerc were confident that with some chaos in the race they could still take some points for Sauber. However, Red Bull though were the clear favourites so coming into this race weekend, and they're proving that in practice, as Max Verstappen and Daniel Kvyat will be fastest and top 2 in all 3 practice sessions by a considerable margin, and we're looking probably just to run away with it in the race if they can get it right on Saturday in qualifying. Mercedes, much like Sauber and Williams, looking stronger here as the Marina Bay circuit is not usually one that suits the Mercedes cars, and the team focusing more on long run pace and possible damage limitation given where they could qualify on Saturday. However, much of the media attention was still focused around Haryanto, and despite much protest from the Williams team and Josh Tirowee, Haryanto escaped without any penalties after taking out Josh Tirowee when he came up to lap the Brit and cost him the win last time out. However, the tensions refused to go away between the two of them, as in practice 3 Josh Tirowee barged his way up the inside line of the Indonesian, creating now what is one of the more unique rivalries in recent Formula 1 history. It'll be usual suspects that complete the back row of the grid row 10, with Carlos Sainz starting from 20th and Carl Majorda from 19th in the McLaren. Although 2 big names that get knocked out in Q1 with Mick Schumacher in 18th in the Haas and Robert Kubica, who could only manage 17th place in the Williams. But even more shockingly, championship leader Fernando Alonso would be the 5th and final car knocked out in Q1, with Lance Stroll progressing through into Q2 but could get no higher than 15th. The misfortunes of others would allow Haryanto to start from 14th and Pierre Gasly to get the best of the Toro Rosso McLaren battle, start from 13th. Charles Leclerc starts from 12th in the Sauber Alfa Romeo, and Pascal Wehrlein starts leading the Mercedes only from 11th and one couldn't even get into the top 10 shootout. The second race in a row, Jean-Eric Vergne starts from P10, with Max Verstappen with a poor lap in Q3, being lining up in 9th in the Red Bull. Josh Tirowee starts from P8 as the leader of the Williams, and completing row 4 is Adrian Sutil in the Ferrari. Sutil's teammate, 5-time champion Sebastian Vettel, starts from P6, absolutely blinding lap from Giovinazzi sees him take his best qualifying to date so far, starting from 5th. Hulk starts from P4 as the lead of the Renaults. A good lap from Kobayashi sees him start in the top 3 for Toyota. His teammate Lewis Hamilton will start from 2nd place, albeit it was still 3.5 tenths slower than Daniel Kvyat, who takes a convincing pole position for Red Bull. Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the UniONE career, this time round 14 for the 2018 season, the Singapore Grand Prix, and I have to say now, the external footage, like the replay cam in that, it's full of a crap ton of screen freezes because my PC with the Singapore track, it's just not a good combination, and if you got this game on PC, you'll know that it's just full of screen freezes. But what that has also done, it's kind of confused my video editor, the software I use, because when it freezes it just like gets stuck in like 1 FPS or something. So it's averaged out from on my editor to it being 20 FPS. So if it looks a bit different to how it normally does, then once again I can only apologise for that. But then looking back now to the race, Jean-Eric Vergne starting from P10 on a set of ultra soft tyres, because with Alonso and Kubica and Schumi out in Q1, they gave us 3 extra spots possibly for Q3, and Vergne managed to get through on a harder set of tyres. So Vergne could make 1 less stop than the rest of us. So if you make that strategy work, then he's already about 20 seconds or so up the road. So although he's starting in P10, Vergne is effectively, as it stands right now, really leading the race. If he can just keep with us now, he's going to need a blinding first stint there on those tyres. And also Fernando Alonso down in P16, knocked out in Q1. I know that this track, it really doesn't suit the Mercedes cars. Well, the 2014 they're just so dominant that they couldn't really help but do it good. But now then, looking back onto us, starting from P8 now, behind both of the Ferraris, and the Ferraris have had a pretty dreadful season, so being behind them pretty much just shows that this car still doesn't really work around the technical track. Then again, street circuits haven't really ever been good tracks for Williams, even back in the 70s and that, when they first started in Formula 1. Now then, coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. Can we get a good start now from Pierre? Well, we're going to need a good start, but Vern looks like he's got a good one though, even on harder tyres as well. We're going to be able to run now down inside. We're going 3 wide almost now. We trying to squeeze us now over the curb. Yeah, trying to get ahead, so he leaves a gap open. We're going to dive now back up the inside line of the Frenchman, and I say championship defending champion, but then he's going to be losing his crown at the end of the season because there's no way now that he can defend it. It looks like you got this side by side now action with the 2 Ferraris now. We've got Adrian Sutter who just tucks back into the slipstream now behind his teammate Sebastian Vettel. He's looking very racer here on the start. Vettel has to go to the inside line. Can Sutter try and make a move now? His defense actually now. Verstappen's going to try and look around the outside line. And there's a first of the screen freezes. So like I said, it's just something we're gonna have to put up with for this race. There's nothing we can do about it. I tried rewinding the footage a few times and recording the same clips again. But when you get to recording the same clip about 5 or 6 times, you just had enough of it eventually. And you just go with what it is. But although I have got to hope that, cause as I'm commentating this now, I'm watching it through my little preview window on the video editor. I'm just hoping that the screen freezes are the actual ones from the footage and not ones that it was just lagging a bit. So that could be awkward. I gotta hope this works first time really. Either way, they were all over the back now of Max Verstappen though. In that Red Bull out the hairpin there, he just gets a much better run because so much good traction because that Red Bull. This is one of the few tracks we're having much downforce like that Red Bull has, especially in the hybrid era anyway. Because before they always had the best era cars. And they weren't drastically slow in straight line, but ever since 2014, it's really been about the engine. So, and because the engine in the back of that Red Bull, it isn't the best. Around this track, you don't really need a lot of power. But now then, we've got Seb Vettel, who's now right up behind the back of Gio. And Gio now, he's got a bit of a dilemma, because he's the Ferrari reserve driver, well he is now anyway, since Sutter has moved up now to the full-time seat. But he races for Alfa Romeo, and although they're both owned by Fiat, Alfa have already stated that they're not going to be a B team to Ferrari. So, what does he do? Does Gio follow his head and stay in front, or does he follow his heart and let Ferrari past? Either way, we've got the other Ferrari now doing battle here with Verstappen. He keeps it nice around the outside line, really flexing that good chassis and aero. And now they're going to be side by side now into turn 4, trying to hold it up the inside line. Verstappen has the inside line, but DRS still won't be activated yet. As now it's going to be about Cosworth's power versus here with the Ferrari power. Look from the rear when they see it staying short on the Ferrari, and Verstappen's made the move stick. Now Sutter's going to try and go around the outside line now of the Red Bull, trying to stick around the outside line, but Verstappen just forces him out wide, and Sutter gets some poor exit. Now going to go for a dive on the inside line though off Adrian Sutter, so we catch him napping there, tried to make a move on Verstappen, didn't work out. So instead of making an overtake possibly, he ends up losing a place to us. You can see the gap though that Verstappen's already pulled. So from one defensive move like Sutter there was really just trying to hide it around the outside line, maybe just run out of tyres, because the Hypersoft tyres that they're on, they won't be wearing out yet, because although they only do about 5 laps, because the grip will be disappearing away. Now then, Sutter is starting to cause a little bit of a train now behind in Jean-Luc Vergne. He's going to be loving this, keeping up with us front-running cars. But now looking at his teammate now, Nico Hülkenberg. So the back now of the total of Kobayashi, and Kobayashi defensive team inside line. Hulk's going to try and hold it around the outside line. He just gets forced out wide though. Actually now we've got the Alfa Romeo Sauber of Gio. They're still right about, so Gio is still keeping ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So Gio now, he's made his choice. He's going for Alfa, not going to try and help Ferrari in this race. But now then, Hulk lost a bit of time there, and Gio though still right up behind the back. And Gio, that Sauber should not be in first place. This is not a track that suits their car. It was just a blinding lap from him in qualifying the season start here, and on a track like this, it is really difficult to overtake, albeit that's why we're seeing so many crazy winnings over the years. And he was mean 2014 in a Marussia. I mean, if I could win the race in that, then it just shows how difficult it is really to overtake. And then we're still right on behind the back though of Max Verstappen and Creature there. We are dropping Jean-Luc Vergne, so he's actually made the move past Adrian Sutter. He's trying to show us now, because although his tyres, he's got a harder tyre, so he will be falling back a little bit, although his tyres will start to be coming into the good temperature zone soon, and good grip zone, because our tyres will start to go up to hit into the wall. But Creature though, thankfully we get away without any damage, because we haven't got the wider front wings yet, which are coming for next season, where they're the length of the tyres. Now they're coming out now from the final chicane. Quite a few chicanes on this track, but yeah, I can get a pretty good flow around that one. The curves are kind of annoying though. And then round the final corner, you need a good run through here. If we can try and make a move on Max Verstappen, getting a great one though. He's in DRS, so we're thinking DRS as well. Verstappen gets to the inside line, try and make a move around the outside line, but Verstappen actually goes very late on the brakes. Actually a brake, so he misses the apex a little bit, but he's got the corner covered. And then into turn 3, he can try and stick it around the outside line, but he's just trying to do something there just to put him off in the middle. But Verstappen though, you know how much of an aggressive driver he is. He's going to fight anyone, no matter what car we're in. Even if there we are, still going to have our straight on speed advantage anyway, even if we're not the fastest thing in the world through the corners. And then with the DRS, but it's just literally just a DRS chain now behind the Renault of Nico Hülkenberg. But coming up now into turn 5, we're still not close enough to the back of Max Verstappen to make a move on the inside line of him. Verstappen though, everything's just being a bit equidistant, but now because we're all fighting, we're all stuck up behind the Hülkenberg and Kobayashi fight. It's actually bringing Jean-Luc Verne right back into play now. We saw before we had about a second and a half, 2 seconds gap to Jean-Luc Verne, but now Verne's right up behind us now. We're losing so much time here in this queue of cars because our tyres are going to be going off now. These like I said, these hypers only go about 5 or 6 laps really. You don't want to be doing anything more than that, but now Jean-Luc Verne's right onto the back of us, and Verne is doing one less stop than all of us, being on the harder tyres. But I'm moving a bit further on now. We are coming into the pits. Like I said, you just can't stay on these tyres for very long. But no, I think that's actually the end of the lap we were on as well. So what was that, lap 3 or lap 4? So yeah, the hypers are really not tight wanted to be on. They literally are just a qualifying tail, but we have to be on them to get through into the top 10 anyway. But now they're getting to our first set now of ultra soft tyres. It's going to be a 2-stop race for us, and it's going to be a 1-stop for Verne, because I imagine he's going to go into the soft tyres, because we're skipping the tyre compound. There's no super soft, so it's the hypers, ultras, and then just soft tyres as well. So it's going to be really slow on the softs, but he's already 20 seconds up the road. We've got to try and gain back that time now. On the Frenchman to make our way now into turn 1. We might as well be in last place, me and Verstappen. There's no one else around us anyway, so we've got some clear space now to push. I'm moving on to the end now of that lap. Hulkenberg's going to bring out Renault. Going to try and bring the driver in now, because you can see what we're trying to do, the overcut or the undercut, because although we are quite some way behind, we were behind Hulkenberg anyway. Me and Verstappen, we're not being challenged by any of the cars around us, so we can just go flat out on this lap and to see how much time we could possibly gain on a set of new ultra soft tyres compared to old hypers. It's either going to be a new set of ultra soft tyres as well. So for Hulk, Hulk's not going to try a really massive 1-stop. He could go to a set of soft now and maybe try to hit you the end. It's not out of the question, but it's definitely not going to be the quickest way around the track. Even Leclerc started in 12th place. He thinks that the 2-stop with Sauber is the way to go as well. And made their way back now into turn 1. As we're making a move on the inside line. Off Verstappen, there's Hulkenberg in the distance. We've managed to jump Hulkenberg, which should actually mean as well we've jumped Kobayashi, because Kamui was in front of Hulkenberg. We've got quite a bit of a gap as well, but now Verstappen sure he's going to come back at us now. He's going to have DRS now down this straight, but we just got this just our natural grunt from our BMW engine, but is it enough to hold her for a very fighting Verstappen around a track that really should suit him as well? Try and make a dive bomb everywhere, get good friendly to the inside line, but Verstappen though, he doesn't go for a move surprisingly. It's maybe because he doesn't want to use up his tyres out, though we do have to make another stop. He doesn't really want to destroy his tyres yet. Now then, we're on to lap 9. We're actually right behind now our ex-teammate from Lotus in 2015, Carmen Jordan. She's currently in P5. She's also on a set of ultras as well, so she's trying the 1-stop in this race. But now then, she's had some pretty good results around here before, back in the Lotus. She had, I think, definitely a top 10 back then as well. It's been a long time since the McLaren was up here in P5 as well, back since 2016, so definitely won in 2017. And Jordan, though, that McLaren is not fast in straight line. We just pulled to the inside line now. Actually, Jordan defends, but we have to make another move there to the inside line now into turn 1. Jordan's going to try and fight us around the outside line. She's going to give us a bit of space here. She does. And now then, into turn 3, we have the inside line covered. They have to hook the apex there. Jordan squeezes us into the apex there. And she actually gets a really nice run there around the outside line. And Jordan's actually going to re-overtake us now. Coming up there into this, going to try and hold it there around the outside line. Use our good tyres to our advantage. We do to sweep it right around the outside line. Showing down to lap 10 of the race how much fresher our old ultras are, and Verstappen's just going to follow us straight through as well, because Jordan didn't have to do DRS. We actually had the DRS still as well though, but Jordan, if she can put up a massive fight, then she might actually be on for her first points of the season. And she has been honestly destroyed really by Haryanto in the season, so it's about time something good happened for Carmen Jordan. But now moving all the way onto lap 18, so much further on. We've still got Verstappen a little bit behind us, and we're going to be boxing out at the end of this lap. So throughout the entirety of that second stint, once we got past Jordan, literally nothing happened. We jumped Kobayashi. We've just been slowly catching up to the back now of Lewis Hamilton and bringing Verstappen along with us. So our pace hasn't been exactly blinding. Just like Hamilton's pace on the ultras isn't quite as good as what it was on those hypers. Now they're coming now into the pit lane now for our second and final scheduled stops. Albeit if there's a late race safety car, they might be worth bolting on a set of hypers later on. And it's going to be a pit lane battle now. But Hamilton did have a bit of a gap to us anyway, so he should rejoin it easily in front of us now, but we didn't even manage to hold him up or anything, because we got into our pit box whilst he was having his tyres changed. And we got Verstappen there still right behind us, and also Hulk still actually in the fight. So in the past few races, Hulk's been there or thereabouts, just about when it matters, because back to the Belgian Grand Prix, he started in P4 then as well, and managed to keep with Kubica for about the early half of the race in that. And also, yeah, the Leclerc's coming as well, and actually got one of the Toro Rosso Hondas behind as well. And the Toro Rossos are actually all too far behind the back of the Sauber there, so maybe they might be on the fringes of points. It depends what Kubica, Schumi and Alonso can do on their fightbacks through the order. And even the Toro Rossos here, I think that the 2-stop is the way to go, because although you lose an extra pit stop worth of time, you run 2 compound softer tyres, so that's what they're thinking. So Toro Rosso thinking that they have to go aggressive and follow what everyone else does if they want to try and score some points in this race. With Gasly, he started from P13, so he's only one place out of the points, so The points definitely aren't exactly out of the question. Moving on to lap 22, now catching up to the back now of Lewis Hamilton. We've still got Verstappen right behind us, and the car in front of Hamilton is Jean-Eric Vergne in that Renault. He's already made his one stop of the race, so he'll be on his soft tyres, as I said. He'll be in front of us, but me and Hamilton, and then Verstappen behind as well. We've just got so much more pace on our two compound softer tyres, and honestly, the Toyota and this Williams are faster cars than the Renault in general as well. Hamilton actually can try and go for moving that up the inside line. Jean-Eric Vergne now in trying to hold it around the outside line. Very interesting, they let Hamilton have the inside line, but then Vergne gets the racing line. Imagine to force out Hamilton. We have a look on the inside line and try to keep his side by side. He's squeezed almost into the wall there. Hamilton getting very, very aggressive with us. We had a pretty good battle back at the last race out, although in completely different circumstances to what we're in now. We've got some good pace on that Toyota. Hamilton really not looking too good on those ultras, although I think he's not too good. He's still in a podium position. It's not like it's the end of the world really for Hammy. Now they're coming up now into the head, but we're not close. We're going to try and go around the outside line, and then we just go back in. Hamilton goes slow on the apex, pretty much brake checking us there effectively, although he went slow on the apex, so he can launch out of the corner like he did. But now this is allowing Vergne to actually pull away from us a little bit, because me and Hamilton were just too busy bothering each other as we were 1.6 seconds down through the second sector on what our fastest that we've done so far is. So showing how much time me and Hamilton are losing, even more than what Vergne's just losing, just being a slow car. It's currently in P2. And Renault are one of three teams yet that still don't have a podium to their name for this season, of course, with McLaren and Toro Rosso. And I don't think McLaren and Toro Rosso are going to get anywhere near the podium. Vergne is currently in the podium places. I think that's actually the first time this season that a Renault has ran in the podium places. It could possibly still be on the for Jean-Eric Vergne. He can find a way to the inside line of Hamilton. He's forced him out wide. He's really just grappling with his tyres, it looks like. But then we've got the DRS. Hamilton's going to try and come back to us now. He just moved back over to the racing line to try and get a good line through turn 1. Turn 2, because that Toyota, pretty much like our Williams, it's monstrous in straight line speed. Even if Hamilton is struggling on his tyres, it's not really going to affect how fast his car can go in a straight line, although we all are now already pulling away though from Hamilton now through the first few corners, and now we're going to have DRS there on the back. Jean-Eric Vergne just to pull ourselves away, or at least have something to answer with to Lewis Hamilton. And we're getting now with the DRS, and then Verstappen also has DRS now on the back. Lewis Hamilton going up now into turn 5, turn 6. He's still not close enough though to make a move on the inside line of Verstappen though. Hamilton, they've had a fair share of battles. Remember back to the I think it was the Hungarian Grand Prix, where Verstappen was on pole and Hamilton second was there as well. No, so we're on lap 23 now, so coming back into us. So we're right behind the back now of the Frenchman Jean-Eric Vergne. We've got a bit of a gap there to Hamilton behind, of course, with us battling Jean-Eric Vergne. And if Hamilton and Verstappen can keep it calm for now, then they should catch up to us again by the end of that. But Vergne's just parking his car in all the right places. And he's going to want to come away with the podium. I mean, at least, well, we know at minimum he wants to beat Ferrari in the remaining races of this season, to pretty much justify his move to the Renault team. But being in a Renault or the Ferrari, he wasn't exactly going to defend his championships in either car. But it definitely looks to be revitalised here in the Renault, especially in the Ferrari. It really was a difficult time for him. Honestly, he was expected to be the number 2 driver in the first place to Sebastian Vettel. They won last year's championship, so definitely ruffled a few feathers there within Ferrari. And then coming through the final sector now, we're still right behind the back though. Jean-Eric Vergne, we've still got a bit of a gather to Hamilton, so Verstappen really is pestering now the 2008 champion, which is a good thing for us, because we can just focus now on fully attacking Jean-Eric Vergne, don't have to worry about defending from Hamilton behind, and can try and find a way to the inside line, which we do. Jean-Eric Vergne now will be driving us now down into turn 1. We've got the DRS wide open now, coming up now. It's going to be a heavier braking now for turn 1. Actually, we're going straight on. We've missed the corner code, way too much speed in, so we have to go the long way around now. Let's pretty much skip there, turn 2, and rejoin now. So that's allowed Vergne to get back past us. Of course, I didn't want to keep the move there for an illegal overtake. Well, it would have been an illegal overtake, and I got a penalty for that. But I've got so much more good pace over this Renault that I can just kind of buy my time for now. We've still got a load of laps in the race. We've got about 7 or 8 laps left to go. Again, now in the DRS though on the back. Jean-Eric Vergne coming up now into turn 6. We're not close enough this time though, so that's going to be another chance gone. But we've still got so much more good pace throughout the rest of the lap as well. We're going now into turn 7. The corner there where Schumacher had a few crashes into the back of a Toro Rosso, and I think a Sauber as well in two of the 3 races they did around this track. Now then, once again, coming now just through this middle sector of the lap, we're just going to stick here behind the Renault here. Jean-Eric Vergne. We've got a bit of a gap too behind actually now. We've got Verstappen now behind us, so he's magically Hamilton as well. So Hamilton really is starting to fall back now in this final stint of the race. And Daniel Kvyat, I have no idea how far in front he is, because this is the fight now for second place. Kvyat, unless something magical's happened and there's someone completely random leading the race, Kvyat's just absolutely ran away with this, pretty much like everyone thought he would back from the practice with how good him and Verstappen were doing on the practice times on quick and long run pace. And through third sector once again, we're pretty much just having to brake check ourselves now, just keep ourselves calm. We've got so much more good pace though over Vergne that we just can't use it. We're having to wait. So where we can at least give a little bit of slide on as well. So what's getting in the dirty air, this is going to be overheating our tyres a little bit. So it's even more crucial that we get in front of Verne really just ASAP. Then he's going to have to try and defend now from Verstappen behind. That could get a bit of pretty personal battle between the two of them. Yeah, we're 2.5 seconds down on our fastest lap that we've done in this race so far. Just showing how much time we're losing. So Verne is going 2.5 seconds slower than what we could possibly do. So at one stop, he's going to get in a few places, but I doubt he's going to hold on to the podium because he's going to have Verstappen there. So Verstappen is going to be dive bombing him all over the place to try and get past. And now then, with the DRS this time, we're definitely a lot closer to the back of Jean-Eric Verne this time. Just going to create now to the inside lines. Verne's going to squeeze up against the wall. Pretty much have to use our car as a barge board to force him out a bit wide to give ourselves just some space. They're going to try and hold it out around the outside line. Verne's going to squeeze us, so pretty much just about keeping 2 tyres on the track. But coming up now into turn 7, we have the inside line. You can try and force out Verne. They're going to leave him a bit of space. He has the racing line. They just keep nosing on the inside line. He's going to squat the throttle, keep him side by side still. Verne's just not getting this one up without a fight. He so much wants this podium position, P2, P3. It looks like he wants to finish in P2, not going to settle for P3. So they're going to try hiding around the outside line, going now through the turn 11. Still going to keep it those side by side still with Jean-Eric Verne. They're going to clean now through turn 12, coming up now into the hairpin. He's like, we're clean now, but we move out wide because I know Verne's going to try and get from me back up the inside line, and I just didn't want him to cream into the rear of us because I'd rather finish in P3, possibly behind Jean-Eric Verne, and actually get some points. But of course, with Alonso down the order, this is pretty much just a great race now for me and Kvyat as well, and of course Hamilton and Verstappen as well. So pretty much all Alonso championship contenders. We're still going side by side now. Still, we're trying to going to have the outside line there, which then turns to the inside now. For the next corner, currently goes side by side through here, and we have to back off and let Jean-Eric Verne back through. An amazing just side by side battle there with me and Jean-Eric Verne. I have to say, great driving from both of us. Not to hit each other all too much. A bit of wheel banging's fine, but it's crucial is just not to slam our cars into the walls because it's hard enough to get one car around this circuit on its own, let alone going side by side for half hour. Pretty much reminiscent to what our teammate Carmen Jordan did back in 2015, along with Joseph Crowell, the 2 Lotuses. But now coming down into turn 1, Verne's still got us covered now into turn 1. So imagine Verne's turned that Renault engine up a little bit. And talking of Renaults, Hulkenberg's now into this queue of cars as well. We're really bringing the Renaults really coming now back into play. Now then, down the straight, can we actually make a move on Jean-Eric Verne this time? I'll get the drivers' names right eventually. We're pretty much pushing Verne through. This is as close as we've been yet. Now side by side once again, Verne's going to squeeze us to the inside line, which then turns to the outside. For the breaks, we managed to even clear him there before the corner, so it just got so much more overspeed than the Frenchman that time, and now we can try and pull away now from Jean-Eric Verne. If we're losing 2.5 seconds a lap behind him, we're going to be definitely pulling away. And I'm moving a bit further on now, looking at the battle between Jean-Eric Verne, Max Verstappen and Hulk in the other Renault. You can see that we're already pulling away, so Verstappen is not going to be at all happy about seeing this side, just seeing us pull away, because a Red Bull 1-2 is still amazingly on the cards. Verstappen goes to the inside line now. Jean-Eric Verne's battle could get pretty personal since Red Bull dropped Verne for Verstappen. And well, Verne went on to win the next year's championship, but as it stands, Red Bull is a better car than the Renault. But Verne is not going to give up without a fight, because as we've seen so far, he's not going to, even when he was in Ferrari, he wasn't going to accept second best. Running up DRS now, going to be Renault power versus Cosy power. Again, Verne trying to come back on the inside line, going to try to go around the inside line, which is coming up now. It's going to Hulk trying to look to make it 3-1, trying to hold it around the outside line. Verstappen though, going to try and keep it now around the outside line, keep his foot in, use that good aero chassis of that Red Bull. Now they're coming into the next corner, and Verstappen's just about going to force himself through. So he did it there to Verne, what we couldn't do to him. So imagine Verstappen behind us, he saw that that was a chance there to force him out. But now then, Jean-Eric Verne now he's got a bit of a dilemma, because he's going to be going so slow on those tyres. Does he let Hulkenberg through and challenge, and can Hulk challenge Verstappen to try and get on the podium? Because Renault coming in 4th and 5th, they're going to get the same amount of points either way, so they might as well switch themselves around. And looking quite some further down now, onto the 2 Mercedes, who really haven't factored in this race at all. We've got Alonso though in front of Pascal Wehrlein, and looks like they're trying the alternate strategies though. Alonso on the 1 stop, Wehrlein on the 2, and Wehrlein on fastest tires actually caught up with 2 Fernando Alonso, so he's getting back this 20 seconds, so Alonso really is just... It's not been a good weekend really for Alonso, was it? Down in 16th in qualifying. And he's behind a Toyota and one of these Saubers there. And the Saubers really all weren't too high up, unless it's Gio. There's a Renault up in front as well. And there's a Ferrari, so that's 5th, 6th, 7th already running now for Alonso. So it's still some okay points, but it's not the greatest amount in the world. Now Verne's going to try and go around the outside line, which will attempt to the inside now from the next corner. The 2 Mercedes here fighting side by side. It's really not what they need now, tooth and nail here. Imagine... Toto Wolff's going to be biting his nails off in the pit garage there, because these two, this is going to be, it's a damage limitation race already for these two, and Pascal Wehrlein is not in the championship fight. He does not need to be overtaking here Fernando Alonso, although it does really depend what championship Mercedes care about more. We know Ferrari, they're all about the Drivers' Championship. Mercedes, they usually tend to care more about the Constructors, so Wehrlein could get up the road now, try and chase down after the cars in front of him to get more points for the team overall, but this is just costing Alonso points in the drivers, and maybe they're thinking that with how much of a lead Alonso's got, it doesn't exactly matter at this point. And we've still got the Sauber in front. And actually, the Saubers have done okay on race pace anyway. And I think this is Charles Leclerc in the Sauber. I can't really tell from that camera angle. Is it Charles Leclerc? I still can't tell. It's been flashing through too quickly. And indeed it is there. The number 16 car of Leclerc is going to be Ferrari bound now for next season to replace Suttil. Honestly, the Sauber and the Ferraris have been pretty evenly matched ever since ever since we got past the few opening rounds anyway. And Leclerc all over the back though of that Toyota in front of him, which I'm guessing is Kobayashi. They're going to do defence to the inside line. You've got Leclerc going to try hard now around the outside line now. Actually, no, wait, that's actually Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton just dropped like a stone. He's behind both Renaults now. And he's behind the Ferrari with Seb Vettel as well. What's happened to Hamilton? There's ultra soft tyres really not working out for the Toyotas. And Hamilton is still the lead of the Toyotas. So where the hell is Kobayashi gone? He's behind both the Mercs. I can't even see him. It's not been a good race for the Toyotas so far. They've redropped it now. Got Charles Leclerc in the start. Going to try and get around the outside line now of Lewis Hamilton now into the braking zone. He make a stick around the outside line. Still going to be side by side. And he makes a move stick there in front. And that's another place down there for Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton was in P2 for most of this race. And his last set of tyres, he's just absolutely dropped. And there's his teammate quite further behind as well. So yeah, Kobayashi is just about on the fringe of the point now. We've got Pascal Wehrlein right up behind the back now of the Toyota. That could be another place lost. Now moving a bit further on. Now Alonso really actually dropping away now from the key cars in front. So it really looks like the two-stop, the one-stop is really not the way to go. Actually, there's quite a bit of smoke there coming out of the back of Alonso's car.
Yeah, that is massively frustrating. I think we really had a good chance of a good result there.
Now then, Fernando Alonso out of the Grand Prix. That could be crucial, albeit he was only in like 9th or 10th place. So it's only going to be loss of 4 points. But that 4 points could be crucial. Every point matters. We've seen the championship decided usually just decided by a few points. So that could be really, really critical coming into the race. So Alonso, that may have explained his lack of pace as well. But this is Daniel Kvyat. He's already coming through the third sector as we're just coming up now to the end of the first. Daniel Kvyat has absolutely dominated this Grand Prix, and now he's coming up to lap our teammate Robbie Kubica, just like Alonso. Has really not had a fun time. Actually, what happened there? Kubica just spearing across the track. What happened there to Robbie Kubica? I think a wheel just popped off his car or something. What happened there to Kubica? We're going to have to take a look at that in a moment. But now we only got a few more contact to go here for Daniel Kvyat. Imagine Kvyat, he's going to be crapping himself there, just seeing a car just wipe out across the screen, especially when it's my teammate as well, allowing the car for position that's actually behind Danny Kvyat. Now then, coming up now through the final few corners now, and coming up now to the finish line, and it's going to be Daniel Kvyat now to win the Singapore Grand Prix in absolutely dominant fashion. I don't think I've ever seen a winning margin be so big. This might actually be the record for the biggest winning margin so far in the UniONE career. As we're now only coming to the start now of the third sector, so yeah, so about, what's that, 20, 30, 40 seconds even possibly behind Danny Kvyat now. We're just about consolidating second place, so Kvyat's gained 20 points back on Alonso from this race. I've gained 15, and Verstappen's going to gain 12, and whoever's in fourth is going to gain 10. But they're not really in the championship final. Now, around the final corner, it's going to be second place for us, and all things considered, it's probably the best we could have hoped for. Kvyat was just in another league in this race, and going to be Verstappen though. Rounds off a Red Bull 1-3, could have been a 1-2, but from 90 to 3rd, it's been a good recovery there for Verstappen. But Christian Horner though seems very happy though with his team's work at Y1T. Red Bull have been the absolute class here of the Singapore Grand Prix, and there you see the team looking very happy as well with another win under their belt. I mean, they haven't actually got too many wins this season, so another one's going to be welcome for them. And Hulkenberg comes across the line there in 4th place, so Renault did do the switch in the end, but Hulk still couldn't do anything about it. Now Daniel Kvyat takes in what now is his 3rd victory of the 2018 season. It's also the biggest winning margin in the UniONE career to date. And this is also the scene of Kvyat's first ever race victory back in 2015 in a really chaotic race there. Also for Red Bull, so Kvyat and Red Bull seem to have some pretty good form here back on the Singapore Grand Prix. Now this should bring us back into the championship fight. taking a look now at the end results, and Daniel Kvyat will take victory by almost 40 seconds. That is a massive lead. I mean, just go from one extreme to the other. I mean, the last race back at Monza, we had the top three cars covered by 0.3 of a second, and now Kvyat, it was basically about half a lap in front of us. And Max Verstappen and his teammate rounds off the podium in third, with Hülkenberg in fourth, with a good result in fifth, and both the Renaults beat both the Ferraris, with Vettel in sixth place, over a minute off the lead. And Verlaine in seventh, and Charles Leclerc gets some good points for Sauber in eighth. Hamilton down in P9 with Kobayashi in 10th, so the Toyotas and the ultra soft tyres really want a good mix, but Pierre Gasly gets some more points on the board for Toro Rosso Honda, and Carmen Jordan rounds off the points places in 12th place, finally getting her first point on the board of this 2018 season. To make it even better for her, she beats the worst Ferrari of Adrian Sutil, who was the last car on the lead lap, with Stroll, Carlos Sainz and Gio all a lap down. So Gio, you've ever had a good qualifying, a good first stint, but much like the Toyotas, the pace just really wasn't there for him. And then we had 4 retirements from the race. Mick Schumacher, who at some point retired. I didn't actually say that. Our teammate Kubica, we should sort of him flying into the wall. Although I will put a slow-mo of that at the end of the results. You've got Fernando Alonso, of course we saw retire, and Ria Haryanto. That's karma for last race. Haryanto could have been in the points, he started ahead of George, so it could have been a double points race for McLaren, but Haryanto got his karma and it wasn't to be. So with a no point score for Fernando Alonso, we've pretty much halved his championship lead. He's still now only 24 points clear of us from first to second. Daniel Kvyat now get back up into third place. He's only 36 points behind, joint with Hamilton, but Kvyat has more race wins than Hamilton. Then in fifth place we have Sebastian Vettel, who's slowly starting to drop now out of the championship fight, with our teammate Kubica in sixth place now, 50 points off the lead. Max Verstappen is in 7th on 98 points, almost reaching the 100 now, and he's 7 points clear of Pascal Wehrlein. Then we've got Adrian Sutil in 9th place in the Ferrari, 5 points clear of Hulk in the Renault, and Kobayashi now drops down into 11th on 50 points, 1 point clear of Charles Leclerc, who runs off the top 12 in the Sauber. Verne, with his best result so far for Renault, gets up now into 13th place on 45 points. He's 4 points clear now of Mick Schumacher. In turn, he's 8 points clear of his teammate Lance Stroll. Then we have Ricciardo in 16th on 16 points, with Haryanto in 17th on 4. He's now actually joint with Pierre Gasly. Again, on virtue of better result, Haryanto's in front. Then we have Matsushita in 19th with 1 point. He's now joint with Carmen Jordan, who gets ahead of Giovinazzi. Again, on better results, leaving now only Carlos Sainz as the only driver now who's yet to score a point. And Jordan scoring a point, that pretty much could be the final nail in the coffin for Carlos Sainz's career at Toro Rosso and Red Bull in the future. And finally now moving on to the constructor standings. It's Mercedes that still lead now, but they're only 8 points clear now of Williams. And you've got Red Bull in third now, only 29 off, so it's a three-way fight now for the constructors. And we've still got Toyota in 4th place, and they're 7 points clear of Ferrari. You've got Alfa Romeo Sauber in 6th place now, but they're only 4 points clear now of Renault. Renault really are getting their act together now, and look like they could be the ones to take 6th place come the end of the season. The Haas dropped down now to 8th place, 10 points behind Renault. And McLaren, with Jordan's crucial 1 point, keeps them ahead of Toro Rosso. Then Haryanto would have still kept them ahead anyway, but now on merit they're still in front of Toro Rosso. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that'll be in the description. Also check out the wiki for this championship, look back at the previous championships as well, all the teams, all the drivers, maybe even a sneak peek of what's coming in the future as well. So leave a like if you enjoyed this race, and if you could excuse the screen freezes for this time, everything should be back to normal for the next race and for the rest of the season as well. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, they'll be linked down below in the description. So thanks for watching, I'll see you all next time.